We hope you liked this video. And thank you for subscribing.
A closer look at U.S. victims of state-sponsored terrorism fund eligibility. Officials recently unveiled plans for another round of U.S. victims of state-sponsored terrorism fund (USVSST) payments. At roughly the same time, Congress amended the USVSST's eligibility requirements. So, if you have a final judgment against a country that sponsored terrorism, or if you or a loved one was a Tehran embassy hostage anytime between November 1979 and January 1981, you might be eligible for a share of this money. Meeting the qualifications usually ensures you get some compensation at least. How much is up to the fund administrator? An experienced attorney knows how to sway fund administrators and convince them to award maximum compensation. Without representation, you might end up walking away with less than what you deserve. Final judgment. Victims need compensation to carry on with their lives. Perhaps more importantly, they need justice and closure that can come from a court system ruling in their favor. The most common way to be eligible for compensation from the USVSST fund is to win a case in American federal court. You can't sue a terrorist organization. The terrorists wouldn't show up, and if the court rules in your favor they wouldn't pay. But you can sometimes sue a foreign government that directly or indirectly supported them. Next, there are procedural hurdles. In domestic claims, those might just be a bump in the road. But in this context, these issues can derail your claim completely. American courts usually don't have jurisdiction over foreign governments. You may still not receive compensation from the foreign government directly. The situation is almost hopelessly complicated when the defendant is a foreign government that is determined to deny all involvement in the terrorist incident in question. There are exceptions, like if the suit is about international terrorist activity that caused an injury in the United States. The victim must win the argument over sovereign immunity or they lose at the start. Assuming victims get over these hurdles, they must still prove that the country was intimately involved in the attack. Such evidence is difficult to obtain since if the foreign government was involved in terrorism it probably kept it secret. This is not an easy lawsuit to win. After all this, the court ruling is just a piece of paper. It is hard to make a foreign government compensate the victim just because an American court says they owe it. This is where the U.S. Victims of State-Sponsored Terrorism Fund comes in. It gives victims an alternative revenue source. The fund managers decide how much to give you, so it can help to have a lawyer make your case. Tehran embassy hostages. The Iranians finally freed these hostages after 444 days of captivity. If you or a family member was held inside the embassy compound at all, you may be entitled to compensation of up to $10,000 per day. Count on dedicated attorneys. State-sponsored terrorism victims could be entitled to substantial compensation. For a free consultation with an experienced lawyer, contact the Cameron Firm PC at 800-861-7262. Cameron Firm PC 800-861-7262.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like. Leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.